Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be ranking every single NHL logo. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now, even if your team might be lower than some other team on this list, don't take it personally. I love most NHL logos, and it pains me to put some of them so low. And at number 31, to start off the teams, I have the Stanley Cup winning Washington Capitals, and it's not anything against them. Washington is one of my favorite teams in my top 10, and for me, I don't hate their logo, but I much prefer their third logo with the eagle spread out. I really do like that logo, and I much prefer it over the Capitals one. With the Capitals, it's just words, and while it has some unique things like the T being the stick, yeah, it wears off quickly, and while there's some little things in this logo that you can't appreciate, it's just words, it's just font, and to me, that's just boring to me, and I just don't see it above any other logo here. At number 30, I have the Vancouver Canucks, and they've been using the Orca logo since 2007 as their main one. Not the Orca itself, but the blue and the gray. And it depends, especially if you have the Vancouver on it. If you put the Vancouver with the logo, it definitely makes it worse in my opinion. The Orca by itself is okay. I don't love it, I don't hate it, but putting the Vancouver on there is bad. So if you have it off there, it's a lot better. But with the Orca, with the Vancouver Canuck, it's still decent in my opinion. I just don't get a lot from it. There's not a lot of standout colors. It doesn't it's not very vibrant. It just feels very bland and very boring to me. And while yeah, it has a unique shape, it's just not working for me, and I never have really liked it. I have the Buffalo Sabres, and they've been using this logo since 1970, and from 1970 to 1996, and then they bring it back in 2010, and they've been using it ever since on their jerseys. And for me, it pains me to put this so low, because I do like the jersey, or like the logo. It's okay. I do like it. The Buffalo, it's okay. The swords, I do like that aspect about it. The circle with the yellow. There's some good qualities to the logo. I just don't get too much from it. It's just there. It doesn't stand out, it doesn't pop, it just has some unique colors, it has something to it, but to me, it just doesn't stand out from the NHL logos, it just doesn't do too much for me, and I feel like that might be controversial, but for Buffalo, it's okay one, it's just something that doesn't really stand out for me. At number 28, I have the Carolina Hurricanes logo, and they've been using it since their inaugural season in 1998, and when it comes to the Hurricanes logo, yes. Is it good? Yes. I feel like it is a good logo, but to me, when I look at the Carolina Hurricanes logo, it just screams missed potential. I feel like this could be so much better, and we'll talk about some other logos on this list that are kind of like that too. With the Carolina Hurricanes one, yes, it's okay. It does what it needs to, but other than that, I just don't see too much standing up from this. I feel like the Carolina Hurricanes has such great potential for a logo, such great potential for a jersey, but so far they don't do too much with it besides the jersey, a few small things. With the logo, it just doesn't quite stand out. It's fine. It does its job, but anything other than that, I think it just fails in. At number 27, I have the Anaheim Ducks logo, and they've been using it since 2006 with the Anaheim Ducks logo, and then they go to the D with the Anaheim Ducks. And the thing for me is, yes, kind of like Hurricanes, it does its job. It's pretty decent, but I do prefer the Mighty Ducks. I'm going to be really honest here. I do prefer the Mighty Ducks, and I do like it. It has some unique qualities, of course, being the D, being a duck's foot. It has some unique qualities, and it has some things that are yet to be discovered. But for me, it works. I just don't like the colors that great. Yeah, you have black, you have brown, and orange. It screams Ducks colors, which hasn't been that great over the past few years. For me, the Ducks logo, it's fine, it's okay. It just, again, like the Hurricanes logo, just doesn't do a whole lot more. At number 26, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning, and this one really pains me, as the Tampa Bay Lightning are my second favorite team, but even I can admit their logos are not the greatest. They have the white version and the blue version. We're going to be going with the blue version here, but for me, they're kind of like, again, like the Hurricanes logo, so much missed potential with this logo. It does its job, it looks clean, it's very simple, that's what you get from it. But for me, there's so much potential with the Tampa Bay Lightning with their logo that they haven't really touched yet. They had a little bit back in 2004 and in that era where they had the Tampa Bay and all that, but it doesn't look that great now. For me, there's so much potential with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and there's so much potential with a Lightning type logo, and for me, that's simple, but if there's any team that was going to shoot for it and shoot for a different design, I would hope that it would be Tampa Bay. I'm hoping that they do it someday, but for me, it's a fine logo, it works, but it's just not great. At number 25, I have the New York Rangers. Now, this might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but for me, I don't really like the New York Rangers look in general. They've been using this logo since 1999. They've been using the same concept a little bit before that, but this is where they got their main color, the light blue and the red and the whites. I like this logo, and I much prefer it on their jersey right now if they were to put that on there. Again, I like this logo. I think it does work. It just doesn't do a whole lot for me. It's been simple like that for the past 30 years, and for New York, I feel like they could definitely use a style change. I feel like they could use something else in their jersey design and something else in their logo design. And with New York, yes, it works. It's basic and it's simple, and it works, yes. But I just see missed potential, and I see something that could be different that I feel would be much used in the new era of New York Rangers hockey. Now, at number 24, I have the Boston Bruins, and it's surprising that I'm putting them this low, but when it comes down to it, I'm putting them this low. They've been using this kind of logo since 2007. They had the same, of course, concept before with all their old jerseys, but this is the new stylized and modern version of it. And for the Boston Bruins, again, it does work, and I feel like it is underrated a little bit. I like the yellow. I definitely like the black and yellow together. It's a great mix for both Pittsburgh and Boston. It definitely works, and for me, it's a good jersey, or not a good jersey, it's a good logo. It definitely works, and for me, the colors are good. It's just, it doesn't do a whole lot. It reminds me of the wheel of like the Redwings or something. For me, Boston, yes, it's good, and I do like it. It just doesn't do too much for me. At number 23, I have the Los Angeles Kings, and they've been using this kind of logo since 2008. And yes, I think it is good, and I feel like it is a little bit underrated. I feel like people give a lot of flack to this one. I do like the LA. I do like the stylized font on there. They use their old logo of the crown on the bottom. I like how they do that, and I feel like they did that pretty well in the execution, but just the overall concept of the logo is not that great. I feel like it's not the greatest symmetrical, of course, with the letters, but all that, but I feel like it does work. It is pretty good. It just has to be lower on the list. The colors could be a little bit more, could use a little bit more work. It's just gray, it's just black. I feel like having a little bit more colors mixed in will do wonders for this logo. At number 22, I have the Colorado Avalanche, and I know this is a little bit of an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people that love this logo, but for me, it's a little bit lower on the list here. They've been using this logo concept since 1995, of course, moving to Colorado, but they've been using it in their entire history here. And for me, there's some clever things in this logo. Of course, you got the puck coming down from the Avalanche, it wraps around the A, and of course, you got that big circle coming around it. Yes, it works, and it works very well, but for me, I feel like while it does fit the team, I like that third logo where you have the Colorado state flag coming around the mountain too. I love that logo, and while I feel like this one is good too, I feel like that would be better, at least personally, I feel like that would be the better logo for the Colorado Avalanche. At number 21, I have the Detroit Red Wings, and yes, it is a classic look, but for me, I just don't quite get all of it. For me, it just doesn't quite work. Of course, they've been using this logo concept for quite a while, but the main current one they've been using since 1984, and of course, on present day. I like this logo. It's classic, it works, and it works well. I feel like while I don't feel like they could do too much more with it. It just, to me, it's a little bit more complicated, and I think they should go with it. It's a lot of stylized. It's a really stylized look. All the wings to it. It just has a lot of good stuff going on. And while that's sometimes good for logos, I feel like this kind of dampers it a little bit. Of course, with one color, you got red, and that's practically it. I feel like they could have used a little bit more, even though, of course, their name is Red Wings. I feel like, honestly, they could use something else with it. Maybe a little bit black. Just splash something different in. And I know they've been having the same thing for so long, but I feel like now, since, of course, the era is over of their success, I feel like it would be wise, or just get something different going, get a different look going. And number 20, I have the Philadelphia Flyers, and for me, this is somewhat a polar opposite of the Detroit Red Wings. It is still a classic look, and they've been using it for a long time. They've been using it since 1967, but I still think it works today. It has a simple look, it has a stylized look that somehow still looks a little bit modern, and I like how it encircles, I like how it captivates the orange in the middle too, as I used to think it was an eye Stupid me, I know, but I still like the stylized look. I like how it's just, it works so well. And I'm surprised they put such a good logo up in the 1960s. It was really brilliant back then. I still think it works pretty well today. And while some may argue that they should get a revision, they should do something else, and while I still think there's potential there, I feel like this is really encapsulates what the Flyers are, really encapsulates what they're meant to be. And for me, I don't feel like could do a better logo just because the stylized version of this, I just feel like it's just too perfect for Philadelphia. Now, at number 19, I have the New York Islanders, and they're a very interesting logo as well. They have a lot of smaller details with this logo. Of course, on the stick, on the NY, you have 4 rings for 4 Stanley Cups. There's a lot of smaller things in the logo that make it very, very good. I love how it encapsulates. I love the circle about it. I love the NY. I know that's a little bit of a controversial one, but there's a lot of smaller things with this logo that they've been using for quite a while. They used it back in 1970, and of course have been in a rough patch in the 90s and with the Fisherman logo and all that. But they come back to the original logo, and it still works very, very well today. At number 18, I have the Ottawa Senators, and to me, I do not get the hate for this logo at all. Yes, it's not a Senator, it's a Centurion, but it's a pretty badass one. I love the overall style of it. I love the makeup. I love the style of it. I love the stylized look of it, how it has a big black border around it. I love the colors around it. I love that pink on it. I love the yellow. I think it works very, very well, and honestly, I feel like that's their best logo to date by far. And for the Ottawa Senators, I really do like their current logo, and while their jerseys are pretty meh, I do like that logo a lot. With the Ottawa Senators, I think it works very, very well. I know that's pretty unpopular opinion, but I feel like it works one of their best. I feel like it works one of their best, and for me, it's their best logo in their franchise, and that's not even a question. At number 17, I have the Edmonton Oilers, and of course, they've been using this classic jersey or classic logo since they come into the NHL in 1979, and they haven't changed it too much since then. It's a classic look. It's one of the classic logos in the NHL. It works fine. I love the oil drip on the top. That's my favorite part about it. Of course, how the Oilers, it drains by kind of like an oil spill, and it works very well. Again, it is one of those logos that encapsulates what the Oilers are in one logo. It encapsulates their colors, encapsulates what the Oilers franchise is, and it works very, very well. For me, it's just a fantastic logo, and one that I think they'll keep forever. It's just a classic look that I don't think they can really make anything better than that. Now, at number 16, I have the Arizona Coyotes, and they have a very, very underrated logo in my opinion. It really works well for what they're trying to be, and it just has a lot of great detail. I love the colors with it, that kind of reddish or pinkish kind of color. I think works very well, that white with the black. They use colors very smartly here to make it look like a 3D logo, type logo, and make it really pop. I think it works very, very well, and it's much better than Conchina look, in my opinion. It works very, very well, and for the Coyotes, I don't think they could do much more of that. It encapsulates what they look. It kind of looks scary, and the shading is fantastic. I love the overall art and detail on it, and it just works very, very well. Now we're into the top 15, and these are the logos that I really love and really, really like to see. And at number 15, I have the New Jersey Devils, and their look encapsulates what they are. If nothing, it's a basic look, and it's a look that works very, very well for them. New Jersey Devils have had an interesting logo history, but it's not really been that much. It's pretty much been their main logo since they've come into the league, and they've had a fantastic one. It encapsulates what they are. You got the devil with the NJ, the devil horns coming up for the J, and of course the tail going down it, and it works very well. It encapsulates what they are to the circle, and of course the devil coming out of it both ends. It works very, very well, and while the Devils certainly have much better potential for a possible logo, this is the classic look, this is the clean look that they've always had, and I think it definitely works. It's the simple look that I think they worked very, very well. Now at number 14, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and of course they've been using this logo for quite a while. They've been using it since 1971, which has been quite a long time, but it still holds up today very, very well. I love the stylized look of the Penguin. It looks pretty sharp. It looks, the Penguin's looking pretty mad, looking to have a fight, but I feel like it works very, very well for the Penguins are and what they become. Of course, they got the yellow triangle with the black and the white. That works very, very well. I like the Penguin that is both coming out of it and coming off of it. It makes it look like it's coming off the rush, and it's going to speed out like the Penguins usually do on these cup runs, but for the Penguins, I think it is what they are. Now, number 13, I have the Calgary Flames, and they both have that red C with a flame and the dark C with a flame, the black C with a flame. And to me, while the red one is very, very good, I do prefer the black letter, and I do prefer the black C, and I feel like that works very, very well. But we're gonna go with the red C, and it still works very, very good. It's a classic look. You got the yellow coming off with the black. It works very, very well, don't get me wrong, but I kind of like the black one a little bit better. But this one works still very, very well, and they've been using this for quite a while, since 1995. They've been using this modern look, and I think it looks very clean. It encapsulates, again, what the Calgary Flames are. You got the C with the flame at the end. It just works very, very well. It's been a clean look for quite a while, and they've had it nailed down for 20 years now. At number 12, I have the Montreal Canadiens, and they are a super polarizing logo. On one hand, they got that classic, beautiful look of the sea, and on the other hand, you'll have the people that are saying it's a toilet bowl, and that, of course, it's not that great. And I'm kind of in the middle of it, but I do prefer the liking part of it. It's a classic logo of the NHL, let's be honest. One of the most iconic logos of all time, especially when it comes to hockey. The Montreal Canadiens have had it down for quite a while. They've been using this logo since 1958, and they've always had it. They've always had this logo. They've always had this concept. It works well. You got the C surrounded by multiple borders of both white, blue, and then white again. You got the H, meaning I think it's Canadiens Hockey Club or something like that. It's not Habs, but you have the H in the middle, which has always been there and has always worked well. And it's just a fine, sleek, classic looking logo that has held up for 60 plus years, and I think will continue to do so. At number 11, I have the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they've had one of the best jersey histories and logo histories in the past few years. They've been using this current logo since 2003, and it's worked very, very well since then. It's a very complex logo, but it works very, very well. You have the flag swinging around the star kind of in a weird angle there, but it works very, very well. It's kind of a 3D look, and it definitely accomplishes what it's meant to do. There's a lot of smaller things in this logo, and a lot of things that definitely work well. And it's a bright, colorful logo, even though, of course, it's got some gray in it and some white. You got the red, you got the blue, and of course you got the flag there. It works very, very well, and for the Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't think they should ever change it just because it works so well with their jersey already. It's fantastic look. At number 10, I have the Nashville Predators, and they've been using this jersey in the past 7 years, allegedly getting it back in 2011, and this is a great, great logo. What they had before was just so complicated, so just trash, and they needed a new look. They go to the gold, which is definitely a refreshing feel to them, and this logo is a big part of that refreshing feel. It's simple, a lot simpler than what they've had before. It encompasses what they are, and the Predator, of course, is the saber-toothed tiger, and having that giant teeth is always fantastic. And I've loved this logo for quite a while. It has a lot of smaller things. It works very, very well. There's some detail in that I think is underjudged, and overall, it's a fantastic look. It's a great logo, and it encapsulates what the Nashville Predators are, and having their logo history, which wasn't the greatest. This new look was definitely refreshing back in 2011, and it will still hold up for hopefully years to come. At number 9, I have arguably the most polarizing logo on this list, the Florida Panthers' new logo that they rebranded in 2016, and to me, I just love this logo to bits, man. I love the Florida across it with the red. I feel like that white with the red it really just works well for the Florida Panthers, and of course, they've had that color in their jerseys for quite a while, so I think it does work. They got that shield, which, yes, it is a soccer logo, and it looks very much like that, but I feel like that's refreshing to, you know, see at least one or two of those in the NHL, see something that looks like other leagues, and see something that's a little bit different. I love that stylized look of the Florida Panthers. It really uses colors well, and I feel like that's underrated in a lot of logos, is that, especially I've been a drawer for a little bit of my life, and that's a hobby of mine. It really takes skill to use colors well, and the Florida Panthers have got that down. At number 8, I have the St. Louis Blues, and them being one of my least favorite teams. I gotta admit, they have a beautiful, beautiful logo. They've been using this sucker since 1997, and it's still going very, very strong today. And it just has a sleek, modern feel to it. That yellow works very well, and the St. Louis Blues have been using that for quite a while. Of course, you got the brilliant blue with the notes at the end, and of course, you got the overall look of it has been classic for quite a while. And there's a little bit of smaller details to this logo, but it works very, very well. And for me, it encapsulates what the Blues are. You got the music theme to it. The color is nice, and I like it that it's vibrant with the yellow, the blue, and the white. At number 7, I have the Toronto Maple Leafs, and of course, they're rebranding in 2016 and now to present day. Of course, they have the, I guess, stylized Toronto Maple Leafs from the years ago, but that just was a bad look. They needed rebranding, and the team, of course, were going in a different direction and going in a good direction finally. And I feel like rebranding to this nice, sleek logo that they kind of used to have back in the 60s was a brilliant move. It looks fantastic. I love the font of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It works very, very well. And of course, you got the stems coming out, the whites, and of course, you could go either way with the blue or white one. I do prefer the blue one, and it definitely has a lot of smaller qualities to it, but it's a simpler look, and to me, it works very well for the Toronto Maple Leafs are, and it looks a lot better and looks a lot more of a Maple Leaf than the logos that they've had past. At number 6, I have the Vegas Golden Knights, and even I'll admit they've risen quite a lot in the last year in, of course, the overall look. The logo was very polarizing at first. It was kind of in the middle for me. I was in the middle of the league. I liked some qualities of it, but I felt it was a little bit too simple. Looking back on it, I feel like it was a lot better than what I thought it was. Of course, you got the shield, which works so well for the Vegas Golden Knights. It encompasses what they are. The gray works very, very well. I love the black background of it. And the overall, I can't really put into words what the color is, but it's kind of like a grayish, kind of sandy color. It works so well, and for the logo, it works fantastic. Of course, I'm wearing it right now, but you have the gold on there, which it works so well. It is a brilliant logo looking back on it, and one that I really underappreciated back then when it was unveiled, but now looking back on it, I love so much more. Now at number 5, I have the classic Chicago Blackhawks logo. Of course, they've been using this for so long, since 1965. They've been using this main logo. And it's just a brilliant logo. So many details and so many fine, great details as a logo. It's fantastic. You got so many great details on the Blackhawk face, and the Chief Blackhawk, I'm pretty sure, is what it's based after. But it has a lot of smaller details, and it's stylized in a way that looks very, very fresh, very, very clean. And it pays homage to the Chief Blackhawk and the heritage of that culture, more so than the Redskins and the other stupid logos out there. Blackhawks actually pay respect to it, and it feels very refreshing. It feels very respectful, and honestly, the Blackhawks, I can't really hate that logo because honestly, it's always smiling at me. It's pretty creepy. At number 4, I have the San Jose Sharks, and man, has this logo worked for me. They've used this logo since 2007, and I think the rebrand was in order for them, and they pulled out a great look right here. Of course, you got the triangle, kind of like the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it uses the blue and the orange and the black, the logo, the colors that they've been used to, and the colors that they've been situated with. The shark is biting through the stick, kind of like the Florida Panthers back then in the 1990s. It works so well. The shark coming out and getting out the stick while coming out of the water, it seems like, the triangle. There's a lot of smaller things, and of course the shark having all those fins, it just works so well, and the stylized look of the shark is also fantastic. Now here is where a little of my personal bias comes in. At number 3, I have the Dallas Stars, my first favorite team. Now, the Dallas Stars were in a tough spot in 2012-2013. They've been using their college jerseys with the Dallas on their logo, on the jersey and all that, and it hasn't been working. The team has been terrible for quite a while, and they've just been mediocre. They haven't been making the playoffs, but then they need to get a rebrand, and the Dallas Stars do that, and they get a new owner in Tom Gaglardi, and it works so well. They rebrand into Victory Green. They're bringing out this wonderful logo, the wonderful jerseys, and the style, the logos work so well. With this jersey, it is both complicated and simple at the same time. You got the D, who has the shadow of the gray and the white working together. You got the green outer side. You got the black coming in. It just works so well. It's simple at the same time. At the same time, there's a lot to it. It is a beautiful logo and something that I think the Dallas Stars should really keep forever. Now at number 2, I have the Winnipeg Jets, and of course they came into the league as the relocation team for the Atlanta Thrashers, and of course they've been using this logo since 2011. Yes, their vintage logo is beautiful and really quite perfect, but I do prefer this logo just a little bit over the heritage one and the classic vintage one. To me, the stylized look of this is fantastic. You got the border of the gray and the blue, which works so well, and of course you got the jet pointing up where the white border comes around. You got the maple leaf, and the background, and you got the stylized jet there too. There's a lot, again, kind of like the Dallas Stars logo. It's complicated but simple at the same time. It works both ways there. And the Jets just have a perfect look. It's sleek, it's smooth, and it works so well for the Jets are so well for the city, and just so well on jerseys. It's a perfect jersey logo. It's a perfect just logo in general, and to me, there's only one logo better than it, but this is as close to perfect as it gets. Now at number 1, what I believe to be a perfect logo and what most other people prefer as the best logo in the NHL, I have the Minnesota Wild logo, and this beauty is... I can't really put it into too many words. I've been using this logo since 2000, but there has been a load of change since then, but this logo is perfect. I didn't even know until like a year ago that there was the bear at the side. I didn't even know that, and there's just so many smaller things with this jersey, and so many smaller things with the logo that really work well. Of course, you got the grayish black round there with the sun coming in with the Wild out there, and of course the bear encapsulating it on the side, on the left side, with the river coming in, and you can see it both ways too. And of course, you got the North Star coming in on that, which makes the bear's eye, which of course paying homage to the North Stars and the North Star in Minnesota. It works so well, and it just encapsulates what the Wild are in one smooth logo. It has so many small details that I didn't even know until a year ago, and it just works so well. The stylized logo, it works beautiful for a jersey, beautiful for logos in general. So many small things about it that encapsulates you too, and it just works so well to combine into a perfect logo. But of course, one of my favorite parts about the whole video process is knowing what you guys think. What are your favorite logos in the NHL? What are your least favorites? And what are the ones that you want to see? And of course, what do you think of my list? And what do you think of where I put the certain logos and where your teams ended up? But of course, that is going it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you have not already. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.